Hello everyone, we are going to be starting a new Photoshop project today. This theme is Valentines, and we're going to make a kind of a weird um, little Valentine's card you can put on your desktop or put as your wallpaper, so it should be pretty cool. And you can use this project for a lot of other things besides Valentine's Day, so I think it'll come in handy. The tool we're going to use the most is we used to call it the cookie cutter tool, but in this program it's called the custom shape tool. So we'll be using that quite a bit, as well as opacity. So the skills you'll learn in this project are going to come in handy later. So let's start off. We're going to go up here to File, and we're going to go down to New and create a new document. We're going to call it Valentines Wallpaper. So you can put this on your desktop later if you like. And let's make a good size, 1280 by 1024 pixels. So both of these should say pixels on your screen. Make sure they don't say inches. If they say inches, you have one big project. It's not going to work out well for you. The resolution should be 72. That's the resolution that we always use for the web. I'll talk to you more about that as you get more advanced. And we want the background to be white. So make sure you choose the background to be a white color. Go ahead and click OK. And here we have it. We have our nice box. You'll notice right away that I have my history panel open, ready to go. Remember, this is your time machine. This lets you go back to correct errors that you may have made along the way. So if you don't have this on your screen, you can always go to Window and click History. And that will open up your history panel. You should also have your layers down here. If it's hidden like mine, you should double click it, and then you will have your layers show up. I have one layer called background currently. Alright, so let's go back to our stage here, or our area, our drawing area, and what we want to do is we want to create a heart here. Now, before we create the heart though, let's make the background look a little bit nicer. It looks kind of boring right now. So we're going to create a simple gradient for our background. Now in the old days we would have come over here to this tool called the gradient tool, but we're going to do something a little more advanced now that you're getting more experience. We're going to go over here to my background layer, and we're going to actually double click on this lock to unlock it, because we can't do much while there's a lock on it. So let's double click there, and what we're going to do next is give it a name. So we'll just call it background and click OK. And once you've clicked OK, you'll notice the lock is gone. Let's double click on that same spot where the lock was. Just double click right there, and you'll get this window. This is your layer styles window, and over here you can apply a whole bunch of really cool styles to your project. We're going to go to gradient overlay, and what this does is it puts a gradient right over the white. Notice that I clicked on the letters and not the checkbox. When you click on the letters themselves, you'll get the options. You'll be able to customize it and do all sorts of neat things that you wouldn't be able to do if you just click the checkbox. So make sure you click on the actual name. That'll highlight the whole thing blue. And we're going to actually make some changes here. So the first thing is we're going to change the colors around a little bit. So I'm going to go over here to this box to open my gradient editor. So once you've done that, you're going to get your gradient editor here, and in the gradient editor I can choose all sorts of different colors for my gradient. Now we just want a simple gradient. We want it to fade from one color to the other, and you remember this, we've used this quite a bit in the past. We are going to change the colors up a little bit. Instead of it going from black, or you might have a different color here, I'm not sure, you might have red or whatever. Just double click on the first color. This is called the stop. You're just going to double click here, and this right now the color is black. We're going to change it to a gray. Now lucky for you, every color has a special code. As you can see, the code for pure black is just 6 zeros. Let's erase this, and we're going to type in our own code for the color gray. The code you're going to type in is ba-ba, ba-ba, or ba-ba-ba. 3 bas. So B-A, B-A, B-A. And that should give you gray. Once you've done that, click OK. And go over here, and you should already have white, but just in case you don't, double click on the one on the right and type in 6 Fs. Now I already have it, so I'm not going to do it, but you can type it in. 6 Fs and then OK. If you wanted to, you can also click on the white. It's the same thing. Click OK, and you're all set, gray to white. We're just going to make a little modification. Take the white color and drag it over to the left a little bit. Just a little, so that there's some extra space here. This is going to give it an even nicer effect when we're done. So what's going to happen is it's going to fade from gray to white, and it'll stay white for quite a while. Go ahead and click OK on your gradient editor. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch things around. If you look over here, let's go over here to our to what's happening over here on the screen. If you look over here right now, the gradient looks pretty good, but it's fading from one color to the next, from the bottom to the top. So first of all, let's make it radial. We want to make it look kind of like an orb. So from here, we're going to change it from linear, which is a line, to radial, which is a circle. So already it looks kind of cool. But it would be cooler if white was in the center. So let's go over here and click the reverse button. The reverse button will flip the colors. That looks pretty cool. And the final thing we're going to do is we're going to take the scale, that's the size, and make it really big. So let's just take this little notch and button and move it up. And once you're done, you're going to click OK, and voila, instant background, and it looks pretty cool too. The next thing is we're going to start making some hearts. So we're going to go over here to the left to a tool that is known as the custom shape tool. Now you might not see it on your screen. You might see a rectangle tool there. If you click and hold it, you get a whole bunch of new tools that you might not have seen before. The one on the bottom is the custom shape tool. You're going to click the custom shape tool, and if you look up top here, you'll notice that we have a whole bunch of new options for the custom shape tool. The first thing we need to do is make sure that our options are correct. So we definitely want shape layers to be on. That's this little button here. Make sure that's selected. You don't want this one. Path is something different. It's not what we're doing. So make sure that this one's the one that's selected. You're going to also make sure that this style is clear right now. You don't want a style there. And the color can be anything except gray or white, because that'll make it hard to see what you're doing. But we're going to be changing the color later anyway, so I chose red. It stands out nicely. You can choose any color you like. It doesn't matter. Click OK, and the next thing is to choose a heart shape. Now you'll notice right away, if I click here, I already have a heart. But you might not have that, so let's learn how to reset the shapes. If you go over here to this little circle, it's like a pyramid facing sideways, or a play button inside a circle. Click there, and you're going to go down to reset shapes. Once you click reset shapes, it's going to ask you if you want to replace what you have over here already. And the answer is yes, we want to replace all of these shapes. So go ahead and click OK on that. Once you've done that, you should have your heart in the third row. You're going to double click the heart, and we're going to drag it out. And I'm going to hold Shift on my keyboard as I do so. Now if you remember, Shift is what helps me make sure to have the ratio the same. That is so that the heart doesn't get really skinny or really wide. By holding Shift, I make sure that it stays perfect. Both the length and the width stay perfect. So there we go. We have a nice little heart. The last thing I'm going to do to this heart right now is to get rid of these curves. I think I want a straight heart rather than this curvy shaped heart. So to do that, all we need to do is subtract some things that are called anchors. The thing with the custom shape tool is that it remembers things by creating lines and paths. These paths are kind of like mathematical formulas, and what we can do is kind of change the mathematical formula by deleting anchors and fixing the shape up. So we'll learn more about this. I know I didn't explain it quite a bit, but it'll make more sense later. Let's go over here to the direct select tool. The direct select tool is white, and there's another one that's black. That's the path selection tool. For what we need to do right now, we need the direct select tool. The direct select tool allows me to click on the line, the edge of the heart, and if you look closely, you will see little squares. These little squares are called anchors, and they are key parts of the heart. If I take one of the little squares with the direct select tool, I can drag it out and make the heart lopsided and strange. But we're going to undo that, so I'm going to go to my history and undo that little thing I just did. To get rid of the anchors here, I'm going to first select the line, the shape, or the path, and that way I'll see where the little anchors are. And what I want to do is get rid of this anchor and this anchor. That'll cause it to become straight down. So to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go to the pen tool, select the delete anchor point tool. It's a pen with a little minus sign. And you're just going to click on the anchor you want to get rid of here and here. And there you have it. You have a nice regular old fashioned heart here. So that's it for the first part of the lesson. Be sure to look up part 2 of the lesson so that we can start making this heart look really cool. That's me signing out until part 2.